You want to serve your patients with your whole heart, which means that you need a stronger team and more accountability in your practice. Best of all, when you put all of that into place, you're going to have more profits. In this video, I'll show you how all of these things can come together in a simple system you can use to grow your dental practice. And at the end of this video, I'll tell you how you can get access to a totally free practice gap assessment and training to help you grow your dental practice. So be sure to stay around to the very end. I'm Dr. Anissa Holmes, here with a new episode of Dental Boss TV, showing smart and growth-minded dental bosses just like you how to start and scale a truly successful dental practice that gets you excited about coming into the office every single day. Subscribe to my channel and hit the bell to be notified when I post a new video on Dental Boss TV right here each and every Tuesday. One of the things no one teaches us in dental school is how you're going to build and grow a successful dental practice. We have a solid background in prepping teeth, occlusion, and doing crown and bridge. We've spent plenty of times doing hands-on procedures by the time you graduate, but did anyone ever teach you how to manage a team, market your practice, or scale for growth? If you're like most of the dentists I work with, probably not. In today's video, you're going to learn 3 small things you can implement if you want to see big growth in your dental practice. But before we get into it, here's a quick question for you. What's the last business book you read? Let me know in the comments below this video. One of the best books I've ever read is Traction by Gino Wickman. I make all of my clients read it, and there's a link to the book in the comments below this video so that you can get it too. Now, in the book, Gino lays out the concepts of the entrepreneurial operating system, all of the processes and frameworks that will really help your practice stand out and run more smoothly and profitably. And the very first process you want to put in place is the Level 10 meeting. A Level 10 meeting is a weekly meeting with your team where you'll check in with everyone and hear their wins for the week, review the numbers in your business, and look at opportunities for growth. By putting this weekly meeting onto the calendar, you'll have an opportunity to discover the cracks in your practice, and you'll have a built-in time in place for talking about any important issues. I recommend that you hold these meetings on Tuesday mornings, first thing in the morning, right before you start seeing patients. And I'll explain why I recommend Tuesday mornings instead of Mondays in just a moment. Start your Level 10 meeting by asking everyone on the team to share their personal and professional bests for the week. Remember, they're your team members, but they're also people with lives outside of your practice. So those personal bests are really important to acknowledge. If you have a team member who shares that she was able to help her high schooler with this trigonometry homework, or someone who took time for themselves for self-care, or someone who just bought a house, celebrate that. On the flip side, if you have a team member who says, I don't feel like I have a personal best this week, I'm really struggling. Now you all know this person needs some extra support. And of course, it's exciting to hear people share their professional best, whether it's helping a patient overcome anxiety about a procedure, or learning a new skill set, or signing a patient for a high-value procedure that will improve her overall health. Those are great wins to celebrate as a team. This 5 minutes that you give your team to connect and share is worth every second. It will pay off again and again in creating a strong team. Okay, the second thing you need to do if you really want to grow your dental practice is to be on top of your numbers. What I mean by that is you want to look at the results and the performance of the entire team from the previous week. And this is why I recommend that your Level 10 meeting be on Tuesdays, because that way on Mondays, someone in your team can pull the previous week's numbers and have them ready to present at your Tuesday morning meeting. Now, when we talk about your numbers, you want to look at all kinds of things. For example, what's the doctor production per visit? What's the hygiene production per visit? What's your production and your collections? How many new patients came in last week? How many patients left last week without an appointment? How many unscheduled patients were rescheduled? What are your accounts receivable numbers from last week? All of these numbers are truly critical to the success and growth of your practice, and it's important to track them weekly. But it's useless to just track those numbers and not do anything with them, right? That's why it's so important to review those numbers at your weekly meeting and to acknowledge what's happening. Of course, if you hit the numbers you wanted to hit, that's cause for celebration, which is fantastic. But what's really important here is to note that if some numbers are off, that's not a reason to start throwing blame or accuse someone of not doing their job. This weekly review is a chance to say, what changes can we make this week in order to improve? What can we do differently to increase our numbers? When you work together as a team, you'll come up with ideas and solutions like pulling a list of unscheduled patients and sending out an email blast to get them scheduled back in, or setting up a Tooth Talk Thursday about a specific procedure, or ensuring that there is enough time for your hygiene patients to be rebooked at the end of an appointment, and figuring out the best way to handle that. So that brings me to the third thing you need to do if you're serious about growth in your dental practice. And that's setting aside time at the level 10 meeting for what we call IDS. IDS stands for Identify, Discuss, and Solve. Let's dig into that for a moment. You don't want to be scheduling meetings for the sake of having meetings. Can you imagine anything worse than that? That's not what you're doing here. Remember, you're starting off the meeting by celebrating those personal and professional bests, and then you're reviewing your numbers, but it doesn't end there. You have to be having discussions around those numbers. And again, we're not blaming anyone, throwing around accusations. Instead, we're identifying the real issue. For example, if your hygiene production per visit number isn't growing and you've been flat for a couple of weeks now you can discuss that. You can ask, what can we do to increase the hygiene production per visit? Maybe we need some new training on new services. What if we got certified and trained in Perio Protect? And finally, you see, you can solve the issue. And so now you can ask, what are the next steps? Who will contact Perio Protect so that we can learn more about becoming certified? Who's going to own reaching out to them? And by when will that happen? Once the task and deadline are assigned, you can follow up at the next week's meeting. For example, you can ask, where are we on this? Did we get an answer from Perio Protect? Who has questions? Are there issues? You have a time and place to continue the discussion until the task is complete. You'll be amazed at how quickly your practice can grow once you start holding weekly level 10 meetings, reviewing your numbers weekly, and implementing the IDS conversations. And if you're serious about growing your practice, make sure you check the links below this video to access and take the practice gap assessment. You definitely want to access that resource. Also, if you're ready to get in-depth training and monthly calls to grow and market your practice faster, join us in the Delivering Well Practice Accelerator program if you want support and training as you grow your dental practice. The link is below this video. If you like this video, please let me know by liking it below. Be sure to subscribe and share it with other dentists who can learn from it too. And don't forget to comment below with Dental Boss if you're ready to grow your practice quickly. See you in the next video.